With the arrival of Stalcraft's latest season, we are introduced to a new event-based storyline, that of Operation Pole. I don't know if you might be aware of this, but all previous season passes seemingly had some sort of supplier which was implied to be giving the stuff to the player, i.e. Grace of Perun was prizes for participating in the festivities, as was the Anomalous Blizzard. Stalcraft X was gear requisitioned forcefully from Civcas, Black Market was provided to players by the Black Market, other side was probably stabilized loot from the other side, so on and so forth. That's why there's a topical dealer each season standing on the shop. So, who's behind this latest season pass? Murmur, which before the name change was Monolith. Nowadays you don't see them that much, the place of late game NPC stalkers being taken by Civcas, and now soldiers. The Murmur's presence is largely implied to be mostly in Pripyat, which in lore is currently sealed off from the rest of the zone. That doesn't mean they're dormant though. The prices of this pass accompanied by a message directly from them. So, as you might assume, the theme of this pass is the player base being groomed by Murmur to receive some sort of revelation, this pass's prices being a way to gain favor with them. Most interestingly with the special case token, a token with the Murmur symbol drawn on top. I'm assuming in lore these are given to the dealer, so he'll give you a random box of gear that they've ripped off from military hands.
I want it to end. I want it to end. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me!
Another interesting tidbit is that this season pass seems to be in retrospective, which is to say it's from the perspective of Operation Pole having already taken place. So, the military can be assumed to be breaking into Pripyat and killing Murmur soldiers, probably as an attempt to pacify the region and capture it, which isn't entirely against their MO. You might have forgotten, but during your visit to the radar during the Blue Sphere storyline, the city approaching the Nap-Nuch complex clearly held signs of previous military occupation. And that can be assumed to be Operation Pole, which is aptly name-dropped to us in the first official manner with this dandy image, a communication by Colonel 7th. The text is faded, but I think we can make some pretty educated guesses. To me, it reads as follows: Operation Pole aims to transfer SSPP troops to Forge 11 to form a strike group that will, then, cut through the zone and towards Pripyat. The special forces are instructed to destroy the Murmur faction, which possesses a device used to protect against the Psi field or some shit. Operation Phases: concentration of troops at the perimeter, relocation to barrier and support of frontier, practicing tactics for passing through the wall and preparing the route, ending with Phase 0, crossing the wall and gaining a foothold in Pripyat with reconnaissance of the, and here I'm making a leap, but this to me looks like objective and elimination of threats. And that, in a nutshell, is Operation Pole, an effort by the military to establish a forwards base in the zone to then break into Pripyat and killing all Murmur soldiers within, with the latter trying to ingratiate themselves with the players. Maybe they know their fuck, or maybe they know something the military doesn't, and this will end up with a similar fuck up to Call of Pripyat's Operation Fairway, with a bunch of soldiers stranded in the zone, making shit complicated for everyone. This season's pass isn't just about loot, or well, it kind of is, but it's also a lore drop. The military is breaking into Pripyat, Murmur is trying to manipulate you, and the rest of the zone is left to scramble to either try and not get fucked over, or to help the military. Of course, the factions aren't just gonna lay back and faff about while all of this happens, right? They've all got their exclusive agendas during this. The mercs are doing the obvious, killing high-ranking officers for money through Roger. Simple and sweet. Rise, on the other hand, have started working in an associated fashion with the military researcher Granitsky, who doesn't like to be called Garnitsky. Their storyline is about researching ways to cross through the anomalous perimeter in Pripyat, with the research concluding that some anomalous patterns always leave some sort of space in between or some shit. Covenant? Well, peace in suffering, you know. Lately, acolytes have been dropping like flies as they try to prove themselves fighting the military, which is going so badly, even Metropolite had to speak up.
The Covenant! This is the Metropolite speaking. The military is occupying the north. They are numerous and strong. I said earlier, leave this battle to the Lord, and I say it again now.
Their storyline goes about how Covenant soldiers are getting their asses handed, and you, the player, must now go out and claim revenge. Blood for blood. Frontier are working directly with the military, helping them get a foothold and such. Plus, while all other factions have a 30% markup on supplies, they retain their normal pricing. Their storyline goes on about rescuing soldiers and fallen helicopters, so you know, making sure things go well. They all have a couple of introductory quests, then the big list of quests that have you going to enemy territory, then you come back and you get a bunch of sweet shit like season pass levels, overdrives, a bunch of Murmur loot boxes, and a cool pin, which is special for each faction. Neat. All in all, this event isn't particularly deep in the lore it offers for the factions, but is rather a chance to play the role of each given clan in what's to come. And after all of that, how about we have some fun? Let's make some shit up, yeah? We can expect Murmur to come into the spotlight pretty soon, either as a new enemy faction, when whatever grand truth they reveal is shown to be some sort of cult brainwashing thing, or maybe they'll become a neutral, quest-giving faction for the players to interact with. The military's presence is temporary, if you ask me. I don't think Civcas is getting thrown to the wayside just yet, or maybe they are. The company lost a lot of money after the Master of the Zone's failure, so maybe they'll regroup and leave to then be phased out by the seemingly much more hands-on approach by the military's SSPP forces. And then there's Pripyat. If I'm honest with you, I was expecting Pripyat to be a far-off thing, thinking we'd only start hearing about it during 2026 at the earliest. But this event seems to be a prelude to something related. I'm not saying we're getting Pripyat as a map fucking next month or whatever, but the fact that it's being mentioned means we're building up towards something related. And what about operations? I've been holding on to this picture for a while now, and while the backdrop is clearly the graveyard, maybe the Soviet apartments are meant to portray Pripyat instead. Operations and Pripyat dropping together, maybe? And what about Snow Maiden? The last year's anomalous Blizzard event left her story in a bit of a sad spot, trading her prior presential appearance along with the appearance of snowmen with personalities to instead get these same snowmen with personalities giving us tapes that seem to document her falling into insanity.
Все будет хорошо. Обязательно будет. Не может не быть.
And missing the player.
Мы о стольком не успели поговорить, но он всегда будет для меня примером несгибаемости.
I miss you too, babe. And what about Nina and Nias? They're both known to be in Pripyat, so talking about the city will inevitably lead to getting some sort of development on their storylines. Maybe Nias will succeed where Civcas failed and manage to control Nina with his evil scientist super intellect. Or maybe Nina's robotic being will agree with Nias's perspective of ultimate control over humanity to bring order. All in all, Expo seems to be working on laying out a lot of new names, themes, and storylines to work with in the future. And while I do prefer my Stalker storylines to be much more mundane, this new Tarkov-esque MMO-style developing storyline that unfolds under our feet and into the horizon also seems interesting to me, since, as you might know, I'm heavily into this game's lore. Also, I couldn't find a place to drop this bit of opinion, so I'll just say it outright. The voice acting in English is pathetic.
Oh yes, it did. 1, 2, 3 on the kidneys. 1, 2, 3 on the kidneys.
What's with the habit of not switching from the general radio channel? Jushka, just shoot them in the head, not in the kidneys or liver.
It's a song.
Like, come on, Expo, if you're going to use AI-generated voices, you could at least pay for an expensive subscription rather than this clearly 11 Labs shit. Push comes to shove, go on Casting Call Club and hire some amateurs. Shit, I'd be down to voice act for at least one character if you'd let me.
Romeo here with a special communique. Muller's a bit gay and he misses Siegfried still. Siegfried, please come back home. I wish you never left me the mercenaries. I still love you even though you killed communists. And they kiss all night. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. What? No! Wait! No! Fuck! Ah! Fuck! Shit!
I know that some of you might have wanted me to talk about how much of a massive fuck up the new season pass was, because it was a massive fuck up. But I don't think there's anything I can say that hasn't been said already. All that I can say right now is that I'm holding on to the hope that, for the future, Stalcraft will at least have an interesting, entertaining storyline to keep up with.
Ground 3 has problems. If he dies in Blender, he'll trigger a cascade and crush us to hell.